What up, what up, what up, Raider Nation? Welcome to another episode of Puro Raider Podcast. Today, bye week, so we don't have to talk all this rumor Raider stuff. I wanted to bring something positive to the Raider Nation. So I invited my boy Brian, all in autumn win, so he can check in with us and let us know how his journey. Those of you who know, if you don't know, if you're a Raider fan, you should know the voyage that he's currently on trying to break the record. And then, of course, our boy Raider Will is here in the house as well. How you doing, Brian?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Man, you know what? I think you picked the right year to do this.
Well, the odds are pretty good each year of it being a good year to do this. If I had
Yeah.
done it last year, it would have been good too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, man.
I mean,
But
honestly, I think last year and how abysmal we were at what were we, 4-13. The thought
yeah.
of doing it again with a 4-13 record was, looming large, and it,
Mhm.
it was part of the consideration, to be honest.
Oh, was it really? Because I know you before that you were doing consecutive Raider games, right?
Yeah, yeah. I ended up with 59 consecutive Raider games that ended a few weeks ago. That Bears game was my first miss. Yeah.
Okay, okay. 59. That's what?
Hush, Pastor.
7 seasons?
No, no, no. It was like 3 seasons plus like 5 games in 2021.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. I mean, that's a lot of games, and a lot of people always wonder, like, the Raiders are so bad. How could you do it? Why would you do it? Like, what do you say to people like that when they ask?
Are we allowed to cuss on this
Yeah, yeah.
stream
This one
or?
you can cut. Yeah, this one is no
No, no,
holds barred.
I
Yeah.
don't do that.
Uh-huh.
No, look, I mean, I started at the end of 2021. It just so happened to be when we got that 4-game winning streak to go into the playoffs.
Oh,
So it
okay. Okay.
started
Nice.
off great. The streak
Uh-huh.
started with a bang.
Uh-huh.
4 wins in a row, make the playoffs. We lost in Cincinnati. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But in the offseason, we added Devontae Adams, and the thought was, Carr, Adams, Waller, Renfro, Jacobs, like we're obviously going
Yes.
to the Super Bowl in 2022, right? So
Yes.
that
Yes.
that's why I started, honestly. And that 2022 season, it's funny because every time I think about that season, the record was bad. It was 6-11, but
Uh-huh.
that season was a crazy season, and it didn't feel good, but like every game we either lost in the last minute or we had a 20-point lead that we blew.
That we
That
blew.
6-11 record could have easily been 11 and
11 and
6. Like
6.
that could have been. We were driving, we were scoring, and we were having more than 30 plays an entire game.
Yeah. Yeah. We were driving. And then that was when McDaniels came, and I know a lot of people hated him for what he did, but you were right. Like,
Yeah.
we had Adams, we had Jacobs, we had Carr, ran for a
Yeah.
Waller. Like,
I,
like that was it. That was the squad.
I stand by it. That year could have easily been playoffs. We choked. We kept choking in so many games. But anyway, then
Yeah.
I thought, okay, well, that's just new coach. Next year will be better. And weirdly, it was. We were 8-9 that year, but then McDaniel's was out, Pierce, blah blah blah, 413 last year,
Yeah.
and then I decided to do this Guinness thing. So yeah, that's the quick
Ah.
history.
Well, that is awesome. That is awesome. I know this year you went to the first game, right? You in New England. That was where one of the ones you kicked off with Raiders New
I
England.
did. I went to
Hmm.
the first 3 Raider games.
Okay.
Patriots, which was the win, and then
Uh,
we lost to the Chargers in week 2 at home on Monday night. And then
okay.
I went to the Commanders game where we lost again. I
Oh.
think those are the 3 that I went to, yeah.
Oh, okay. I know we got together in Arizona. Shout out to Julio and the diehard Raiders out there. They gave you
Yeah.
your send off for the season, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Had
that
had
preseason party was awesome.
that right for a preseason party in Arizona. I can't wait to see what the regular season game is going to be like down
Yeah, for real.
there. But yeah, I
Next
mean,
year?
I just
Do we play there
yeah,
next year in the regular
this is
Yeah.
season?
next year. Yeah,
Yes, we
it's next
do.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's what
nice.
Julio and them were getting me ready for. They're like, man, you think this was cool? Wait till you come next year. And I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
next. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be awesome. But I mean, I wanted you to come in here today so you can share, or I want to know honestly what your experience has been like traveling back and forth. I see people
Yeah.
recognize you from other teams and they kind of know what you're doing, and then I see you engage with them in your videos.
Yeah, it started a little bit. I actually had last night in Seattle. There was a group of guys, and one of them came up and was like, "Hey, it's the guy from Buffalo." And this was a game we Raiders played in Buffalo 2 years ago, and I had interviewed them there, and they
Oh, okay.
recognized me in Seattle. They were not Seahawks fans. It's a group of guys who plan like one trip per year where they all go to the same game to
Mhm.
another city, and it was just really it's really interesting to see. I got in a plane the other day. I don't even know what day. Don't ask, because like the days are all really blurring together. It's kind of weird. I have these
Yeah.
moments of thinking of, wait, what city am I in? And
Uh-huh.
I got on this plane and I was walking in, to my seat, and a guy looked at me and was like, "How many stadiums do you have left?" And I looked back and I was like, "Three." He's like, "Awesome, man, get it," fist bump, that sort of thing. But it was
Nice.
just weird.
Nice.
Like, hey, this guy
Uh-huh.
recognized me. So
Mhm.
that's been a little strange, unexpected. It's fun. It's not why you do it, but it is kind of fun. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, well, some somehow people are seeing this.
Right, right, right. That's cool that you get to go to all those different cities and things like that. But I'm sure that the headaches of the travel has got to be like the main thing. But what seems to be the biggest struggle or barrier for you right now, hardest thing you
Well,
deal with?
yeah. I think, physically it's a lot, and I'm kind of making it harder on myself in a few ways. Um, there's two world records that I'm going for, actually. And the one that I announced first was the most games in an NFL season. So for
Yeah.
4 months, every Thursday, Sunday, Monday, and I'm going for 56 games. But I could have made that easier if I wanted to get that record, because I live 3 miles from SoFi. Every
Uh-huh.
Sunday, I could just be going to a game here and
Uh-huh.
getting checking boxes, boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
And then I would just have to deal with traveling to the Thursday or Monday night game,
Monday
you
night
know.
game. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But but I wanted to go to Raider games, so I went to New England. I went to the Commanders. At the end of the season, I'll go to the last five Raider games, which includes Houston, a couple of home games, and Philly. Um, so I'm making it hard on myself. I'm also making it hard on myself because, like, when I flew to Cleveland this weekend. So this week 7 was Cincinnati on Thursday, Cleveland on Sunday, and Seattle on Monday. And Cincinnati and Cleveland are very close together. And I did when I planned it, I put them together on purpose so that I could
Okay.
go Cincy Cleveland. But
Mhm.
what I figured out was, this is very expensive. And I figured out that, oh, actually, if I go to a game and fly home, like if I go to the Thursday night game and fly home, that's cheaper than if I stay in a hotel Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday
Ah,
night, you
okay.
know? So even
Yeah.
though it was Cincy Cleveland back to back,
Mhm.
I flew a red eye on Wednesday, landed in Cincy, went to the game, went straight to the airport after the game,
Mhm.
kind of slept a little bit. And then Saturday night, I took another red eye to get to Cleveland. And that one was even tighter. As soon as I got to the airport, I got on a train down to the city center and then walked to the stadium and went straight from the plane to the game. It was
Oh
crazy.
wow.
But I'm just like constantly doing these red eyes and I'm
Uh,
getting like 2 hours of sleep here, and then I'll sleep on the plane. And so, yeah, it's been pretty crazy, the travel. Again,
yeah.
I'm making it harder on myself. If I wanted to spend the money, I could like just stay and relax in an area. But the other big thing is that I'm married, my wife's here. Like, coming home is good. I see her, and
Mhm.
I'm here for a couple of days, and then I'm gone for like 36 hours, and then I come back.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make it to where I'm not just gone for 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a long time. I didn't even think about that. You could have done that. It could have been
Yeah.
SoFi every Sunday, or even LA because Vegas because it's so close to each
Yeah,
other. But
yeah.
yeah, but then you get to experience the other cities, the other
Yeah.
fans, and it makes your videos, I guess, a little bit more interesting that way. No.
I hope so. Yeah.
I think
But that's a joke. It's kind of a running joke I've had for 4 years. There are things I do not like about that stadium, for sure. Um, but yeah, you're right. I think it's more interesting. But mostly, it comes down to that second record, and that's really what's driving the travel. Can I tell you about the second? Do you know about the second record?
No, no,
Because I
no.
just
No,
What's
mentioned
the
it
no.
second
a
Way.
couple
record?
of days
Yeah,
ago for
yeah.
the first time.
Okay.
So set aside the most games in a regular season, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
record number one. The other record is the fastest time in days to attend all 32 stadiums.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So the current record there is 74 days, which is a little over 2 months. Okay. And I've
Okay.
got it mapped out where I can do it in 72 days. And this record, it's not as physically challenging. It's not it's not 4 months and it's not
Mm-hmm.
56 games. It's 32 games in 2 months. But the reason it's hard is because, first of all, you have to plot out every Monday and Thursday where you're going. Those are pretty much set for you. I know there's
Except
some
for you.
Mondays where you have options, but they're pretty much set for you. And then
Sure.
you have to fill in the blanks with Sundays of the remaining 32 teams, whoever's left over, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is you have these cases where, let's say, Thursday night this week, but then a few weeks later play on a Monday night. That Monday night's not going to count for you in this other record, the fastest to attend, which extends the days a few. So you have to find the sweet spot in the season to where
Mm-hmm.
teams don't have multiple primetime games. That's the key.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I had a crazy Excel sheet like to map out all this stuff and to figure out how I could
Uh-huh.
do it. And I found one path that was 72 days, but in that 2 months, it's going to all 32 home teams basically. And that's
That's
really why I'm not
crazy.
going to,
wow.
yeah. But it overlaps with the other record, right? So of the 56 games, right
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the season, 32 of them count towards record B, but
Record
all
B.
56 count towards record A.
Record
How
A.
long did it take you to coordinate all this? I mean, like you're going from record
Mm.
A to record B, and I'd be like, you're saying 72 days. You have a certain time period, and I'd be like, I know flying, like coordinating work. I'd be like, just life. I'd be like, how
Yeah.
did you do this, man? How did you come up with a plan like this?
I'm telling you, Microsoft Excel is your friend. That that was a big part of it,
Right?
honestly. I'm not lying. But I mean, you mentioned work. I did take a break from work. I actually
Okay.
I've I've been in the same industry for about 25 years, and I basically paused and I did leave my company. I was planning on leaving anyway. I didn't leave to go do this Guinness thing, but the
Oh,
timing was like, okay, I'm going to time it around here. I'm going to leave this company. And then after this Guinness thing, then I will get back and, go to my next job, whatever it's going to be. There's
oh.
no way I could be working a full-time job right now and do this.
Yeah.
It's not possible, like with all the
Not even if it
travel,
was
and this
remote,
is
like
a job.
yeah,
This is harder than
Yeah,
my job.
it sounds like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's grueling, man. I mean, like people don't really think about traveling and like how much it like puts a toll on your body. But man, it is grueling, and I can just imagine doing it for what 6 months straight almost. Seems like
4 months. 4 months.
4 months.
4 months straight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, from it's exactly 4 months actually, because the season started on September 4th on a
Mm-hmm.
Thursday and it ends on January 4th, week 18. All the teams play on Sunday, January 4th. So it's 4 months exactly. Um, the other grueling part about it, to be honest, like in my real job and work over the years, I've traveled a lot. So I'm really accustomed to traveling. I actually like it. I like airports. I like the
Oh, okay.
stages of going through, so
Yeah.
I think that helps. If I hated travel, this would be not a
This would be
smart thing to
horrible.
do. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
But it is physically grueling, but the anxiety I have and all of the Guinness tracking and the things that they require,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually been more annoying and anxiety filled than the travel itself, because there's just these moments where I think, oh God, did I get this? Did I track that? Did I miss this? And what
Mm-hmm.
happens if I didn't? And you know, I had a really bad experience in Cleveland actually, because one of the requirements that I have to do is I have to get 2 witnesses that are fans, not affiliated with the organization in the stand. So every game,
Okay.
I'm asking 2 people to fill out a form.
Oh,
But I
okay.
also have to ask 1 employee to fill out a form.
Oh,
And so every stadium, I go to guest services and I talk to them and I say, "Hey, I'm doing this Guinness thing," and
uh-huh.
a lot of times they're really excited and okay. Every now and then somebody says, "I don't know if I can fill this out. Let me ask
Pastor.
my manager."
Uh-huh.
And then they ask their manager, and it's like, "Yeah, cool, fill it out." But Cleveland was a weird experience. The lady I was speaking with directly in person, face to face, was lovely, and she was really trying to help me. But she was like, "I got
Mm-hmm.
to check. Let me check my manager." And she had this text message thread going with her team, and there's some kind of director behind the scenes that just flat out said, "No, we can't do this. It's a security thing."
What?
Which is ridiculous because there's no, it's like this form is like name, venue, time, and date,
That's a
phone
simple.
number and email, but like
Uh-huh.
work phone number and email. I'm not looking for your like social security number or anything.
Right.
So they flat out denied, and I had spent the whole 3rd quarter and half of the 4th quarter trying to get them to do this. So I don't have one of the requirements for that game, and I don't
No
know what that
way.
means. Yeah,
You don't know how that's gonna affect the record.
I'm just
Oh.
again, they kind of require about 10 different things for each game, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping that I'll have the other 9 requirements, right? Services. With a microphone talking into, "This is what's going on. I'm trying to figure this
Mhm.
out." I took a bunch of video. So
Do what?
deal with this now. We're too busy during a game. Email us and I was like, "Email, but there's like a witness thing. You have to actually see me here."
Uh-huh.
But I did send an email to the guy, the director, and I haven't heard back yet. But I'll
Okay.
also give that email as like evidence, just to
Proof.
say,
That's
"Look,
evidence. Look.
they absolutely refuse. I don't know what I'm supposed to do if they refuse to fill out this form." Yeah.
That's crazy. I would ask you, sometimes you meet a nice person at the concession stand. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
this. Like, you want to fill this out for me? But that Cleveland of all places, go figure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
Man.
Jesus. And that's the biggest pain out of the 10 requirements is that form to get that one filled out.
It's not. The form is not that hard.
Mhm.
It's not difficult. It's quite easy, and that's the funny thing is they said they didn't have time for this, but they could have just filled it out in about 1 minute, and I would
Uh-huh.
have left and I would have been gone. But like instead, it took like an hour of me kind of hanging around waiting for answers and seeing if I could. I kept asking, "Can I talk to somebody?" I
Right,
wasn't
right.
getting clear answers on if I could talk to somebody, and then eventually they were like, "No, you can't talk to anybody. We're not doing it." It was just like, whoa,
That's
crazy.
Wow.
so wow. Oh man,
Yeah,
oh,
but
that
it's
sucks.
the receipts, all of the travel. So when
Mhm.
I can't drive, that's one of the
Yeah, I
requirements.
remember that. Mhm.
To the airport, I got to provide the receipt for that Uber. The receipt for the taxi to the hotel, or if I
Mhm.
walk from the hotel to the stadium, if it's close enough, I have to kind of, Google Maps, do the route,
Show them,
screenshot
yeah.
it, provide that, and I have to give them a logbook. And right now, through 7 weeks, there's about 200 rows in that logbook of receipts, all these
Oh
files. So it's
wow, all
every
the files.
taxi, bus, train, plane,
Uh-huh.
everything. I It's great. I have to include the time of each one, the times that I walked, the times that I took the train, the times that I took the bus. I have a GPS tracker on me.
Uh-huh.
Um, so it's, as soon as I leave my house, like when I went to Cleveland, yeah, I turn it on when I leave my house. And when I get
Yeah,
back
yeah,
home, I turn it off. I've got like 60 hours of,
yeah.
yeah,
That
it's
is
a lot. They require a lot.
I don't even like
right.
having that family share link plan, man, on my phone to for my and like this man has a GPS on him. Like, hey,
There's a
like,
GPS
boom,
on him.
you know where I'm at
Yeah.
24/7. I'm like,
Mm.
oh, that's crazy.
So with the other record, the one about hitting all 32 stadiums, how many have you done so far then?
Yeah. actually
think you're
done
cutting off.
13 for that. Sorry, 15. I've done 15 for
15.
that.
Okay, you done
Yeah,
15
sorry,
for
I,
that.
I kind of heard it there. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, so
Oh, there you go again.
this is
We're getting like a banjo.
yeah,
sound.
sorry.
It's
Oh,
okay.
there we go.
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I got rid of that. Yeah, 15 games for that. So I only have 17 more left, and that will end the weekend of Thanksgiving is when that one is done.
Oh.
But that one's riskier because if anything goes wrong, if I miss one game during that 32 period, if I miss one game, there's no chance to make it up. The whole thing falls apart because it's so specific with like 32 games in a row that are different stadiums.
Right.
Man.
Is there anyone you're looking
There's a
most
part of me
forward
that
to in particular?
thinks I might not get that one because if I miss a flight. Sorry, say that again.
No, I said, is there anyone in particular that you're looking forward to?
I think he switched internet. Maybe.
I think so, maybe.
All right, hang on a second.
There he is.
So my connection was bad. I turned off the Wi-Fi because I think that might have been contributing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You guys hear me now? Sorry about that.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. No, you're good.
So I'm really looking forward to going to Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
It's such a,
Historic thing.
Yeah. Legacy thing. Yeah. Something that you watch every year. Every year you watch.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Detroit and Dallas.
Yeah, right. I picked Detroit over Dallas because I didn't want to go to Dallas more than I have to.
I can see why I would do that. I think I would pick Detroit too as well. If I had to pick a game on Thanksgiving, it would be Detroit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I end up seeing the Cowboys play like 5 times, but not in Dallas. They just like coincidentally are the road team in a lot of the games.
Right.
I guess that kind of.
And they do get a lot of the primetime games too, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like outside of the Raiders. So I'm going to be going to 11 Raider games this year during that 56 run. So it's still pretty good. It's not all 17, but it's 11. And then after that, I think the next team I see the most are the Eagles with about 6 or 7. I think it's 7. I have to look at my schedule. But I see the Eagles 7 times, but the reason is because they won the Super Bowl. So they're playing a lot of Monday, Thursday, So they just keep popping up on my schedule. It's like, oh, there's the Eagles again. Yeah.
Okay. Do the 49ers pop up a lot? Because they're the ones hosting the Super Bowl. So normally they like to show off that stadium to everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't have the Niners that many times. I'm only at Levi once, which is great because I think that stadium's terrible. But I think I probably only have 2 or 3 games with the Niners, either home or away. But I think it's only one at Levi.
Oh, okay.
Now, man, I'm a fat kid, so I need to know what's the best stadium food that you've had so far. I need to know what the location is. Give me the stats, my brother.
You're going to be incredibly disappointed. So I have to say that is the number one question that I get, and what I've come to realize and what I answer to everybody is I can't really answer that, and I'm going to explain why. The first reason is I feel like stadiums, first of all, they have like multiple options. So when you go, how do you know which one to get that's like represents this is our best stadium food, right? You would have to go like several times and try different food. There are some times that I don't even eat in the stadium because I just maybe on the travel like just gotten something quick before I get to the stadium, and I'm like there with 2 cameras and a mic and trying to do all this stuff, and suddenly the game's over. So I haven't eaten in every stadium. And then when I do eat, outside of, I'm not going to talk about any sweet situation because I haven't been in any sweets at these stadiums, but it's chicken tenders, pizza, hot dog, burgers. It's all the
Right.
same. I remember being in Lambeau in Green Bay, and I had like a little window after halftime. I was like, I just need to grab something fast. And so I walked to the concourse and there was hot dogs. I was like, fine, give me a hot dog. So I ate a hot dog there. Can I compare that to the pizza that I had in Carolina? Not really. I mean, I think it's something that somebody should and could do if they were focused on it. I just think that I have so many things in a game that I have to do that food is the furthest thing from my mind. Plus,
That makes
I'll add one more thing. There was a point which I realized I did a quick calculation. If I got a beer and one food item at a stadium at all 56 places, it would add $5,000 to the whole journey.
Holy
Oh,
smokes.
wow. That makes sense because beer's hella expensive at
A
stadiums.
beer
Yeah.
and a pretzel?
Well, maybe not a pretzel, but
Right.
I'm going to give you this answer though. The stadium that has the best priced food is Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz. They intentionally have put their prices low for the fans. And you can get like a hot dog for $3 there. It's crazy. They are the cheapest stadium by far. So I would go with that just based on price alone, not necessarily on taste.
No,
Okay.
okay. You're right though, because normally people who do stadium foodies, they dedicate their page to that and they research it. They look on TikToks and they'll do that, and then that's like a whole nother mission in itself.
It
You already
is.
have stuff to do when you get there for your Guinness World Record, so that makes sense. Yeah.
And I went into it thinking that I would do something about the food and this and that, and it just like it kind of it very quickly got lost. Like, oh, I don't even have time to think about food. I have to do these other requirements, and so yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you there, man.
Man.
You mentioned saving 5,000 by
Yeah.
not getting a beer at every stadium. So someone had a question like, how much is this costing you, if you don't mind sharing it, or a
I
general
don't mind.
estimation?
Yeah, and I've put a number out there of what I think it will be based on tickets and everything. But if you think about plane, game tickets, all the travel, it's funny because one of the most expensive things are the Ubers. There's sometimes I've spent more on Uber than I did the flight to get to a city. Like I had some $40 flight on Southwest, but then an $80 Uber to get from the airport to the hotel. It's crazy.
Oh, because it's far away. Yeah.
No, but it's gonna be around 25,000.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So the
You
food on
haven't got.
top of it, that's and also health. Like I'm not sleeping enough. All this travel, I can't pump in a bunch of stadium food, as well. It just.
You're right. It would kind of be like that dude who ate McDonald's for 30 days in a row, right? All that malnutrition, and it's already a toll on your body and everything. The travel and the sleep. That's true. That's smart.
I'm sometimes I'm eating in airports and I'm but I'm looking for like, I don't know, I got a wrap the other day that was like a beet salad wrap, something healthy, because like everything in airports are not a healthy place to eat. Stadiums
No.
It's terrible. So
and then you don't even really get to spend much time in the cities you go in, right? It's like airport game, and then I'm out.
Yeah. And I think that's important too, because if I did try to do other things, I'd just end up racking up more bills and
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No one's reached out to you to help sponsor you during all this, Brian. That's insane. They need to.
Well, I do have one thing. I've been working with. There's a new ticketing app called Seat Connect, and if some of my Instagram posts will include information about them. They're not. I want to be clear about this. This is important. They're not sponsoring a Guinness attempt. That's very important, because that's not really allowed. It is allowed, but it's allowed if you go through Guinness, and there's like additional fees and all kinds of stuff. So just to be clear, for the record, Seat Connect is not sponsoring the Guinness journey. But what Seat Connect is doing, because they want reach, and because I'm content creator putting content on Instagram that's not necessarily about the Guinness record, it's like interactions with fans, and they have paid me some to to promote their new app through
Okay.
these interactions. So I just want to be, there's a big separation there that I have to be clear on.
Okay.
But no, this ticketing app, I think it's coming out soon, and it's starting in Las Vegas actually.
Oh, that's the one that Samoa's been promoting
Yeah,
as well.
that's
Okay.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a former Raider employee, and Cam, he's awesome, and he has a team that's building this app. You know, and there's like Tick Pick, there's Game
Yeah.
Time, there's so many apps. This one's cool. I think it's cool because you can actually directly communicate with people who have the tickets. So for someone like me, if it was already out, it's not out yet, but if it was out, I would be using it for this because I'd be trying to ask them questions about the seat or about the stadium or what food should I get in the stadium. You know, like I could ask in advance through the app.
Oh,
Whether
damn.
the answer is up to them, but there's like a community element to the app,
Do it.
and there's no buyer fees. So it's
Yeah, that's always big. I hate the whole buyer fee thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like $100 a ticket.
Exactly. Ticketmasters, I think they double up. They get some on the buyer and the seller, you know. So it's all this app is just look, as a seller, much like eBay, right? If you sell something, there's a piece of that goes
right that they have to get. Yeah.
But the buyer doesn't pay an additional amount, you know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's the only part I hate about doing that. Whenever I have to use Ticketmaster, it's like, damn, I gotta pay those fees. Right now, I like TickPick, but like you said, hey, thank you, Jeff. I like TickPick, but I do like. I've been seeing the C Connect because I've seen TJ put it on his talking about it, and I've seen a couple of you other guys. Shout out to you in the Raiderverse content creators. You know, you guys are out there. But man, yeah, that is. And I've also noticed you don't sit always in the 100 or below. I've seen you all the way on top sometimes as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My ticket in Cleveland on Sunday. First of all, it was raining. It was like pissing so hard.
I saw that.
And it was about capacity about half filled. But I bought a ticket on the very top row, the top section, top row. And first of all, because it was $40. So with this crazy journey and how much money I'm putting in, every opportunity I get to buy a cheap ticket, I will do it. And then I got top row because most of the stadium is not covered, but the top 10 rows are. There's like an overhang. So I was under that. So that helped a lot. But yeah, I don't necessarily, I don't want to sit front row or hundreds. I mean, if it happens, it does. If I go to a game with somebody and they want to sit there, I will. But the problem is some of the primetime games, like Monday, Thursday games, even the cheapest ticket is they can be $200-$300.
Yeah.
And so I have to offset it with some of these Sunday games with either there's bad weather or bad team, get the cheapest ticket possible, right? So yeah, I've been picking seats pretty high up, and then I kind of walk around the stadiums a bit and try to get footage of other areas, you know.
Have any of these fans tried converting you over, or like saying, "Hey man, hey, you're a Raiders fan. Your season is terrible. Come to this side."
What am I, Pinoy Raider?
Oh God, man! I just was given information about that, and I saw the video. I cannot believe it. I mean, I can, but like,
I can.
Come on now, man.
Oh man.
He's always got stuff going on, so it's not.
Yeah.
But hey, that's his choice. It's our choice to remain Raider fans, you know. So have fun with it, you know.
Right.
No, sorry, Pinoy's out here taking strays. But to answer your question, nobody's tried to convert me. There's some cities where people have just been super friendly, and they, you know, we don't get into it at all because like I was in Carolina, right? So Panthers Raiders, we don't really have
no big
rivalry, you know. So they don't care, and they're like, oh, Raiders, okay, cool. Some of them are like, you know what I get a lot is like, oh man, I love the Raiders back in the 70s, 80s, you know. A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is I think there's a kind of a empathetic thing that happens when you're in a stadium and you're not necessarily rooting for either team. Maybe you kind of gravitate towards the home team because the better the home team does, the more exciting it is. The crowd is like super into it, and it just ends up being better. Now there's exceptions to that. I'm not going to go to a Broncos, Chargers, or Chiefs game and root for the home team.
Right.
But I was in Denver for a Bengals Broncos, and the Bengals. This was right after they lost Burrow, and they were terrible. And the game was a blowout, right? But I'm sitting completely around Broncos fans, and the seat I bought was next to the seat owner. So we were talking. She was like, "That's my seat. You bought it." She was like, "I didn't know it was going to go to a Raider fan." You know, there's a little bit of that. But she was super nice, and she was like, "Come on, you got to root for us tonight." You know, and I'm thinking like, I'm not rooting for the Broncos, but then again, I'm not going to root against them when I'm surrounded by all these Broncos. But all of them are nice, and like they'd score a touchdown, and they'd be giving high fives, and they'd look at me and want to give high fives. You know, the last thing I want to do is to be a dick, especially when these people are doing me a favor because they're the people that I'm getting to be witnesses and fill out forms. You know, so there's a little bit of a a balance. There's a balance needed there. I'm a little worried in I think is it Monday night? I think Kansas City. I go to Kansas City Monday night. I'm a little worried there because I've been committed to wearing Raiders at every game, right?
Okay.
That's the one place that I think, I wonder how this will go. You know, I think I'll get a lot of crap, especially because they absolutely just destroyed us, right? So I'm prepared for that. I can take it. In a way, I think I can kind of use that to avoid. I don't want to get into confrontations on this journey because that could, affect. Like if I get thrown out of a stadium, that's not going to count, right? So I don't want to get in any kind of confrontation. I'm going to avoid that. So I'll probably just kind of laugh it off and just like, yeah, we suck. Like it's the truth, whatever. But anyway, I'm here for this Guinness thing. So we fill out this form.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's true. I do like when I go to away games and you see each team has like their little thing that they do. My favorite to this day is still Pittsburgh. When they do the in the fourth quarter, they black it out and then Renegade comes on. Like that to me is so awesome the way they do that in Pittsburgh. I don't know if you've seen any other rituals that other teams do that you're like, hey man, that's pretty cool.
I've seen a lot. You're right. I do like that because it's different everywhere. I don't remember that in Pittsburgh. I was there for Raiders Steelers Derek Carr's last game in 2022.
Oh, okay, the Christmas one.
Yeah, it was so cold. God, I don't remember them doing that. But the most interesting one that I have seen so far was actually in Carolina. Before the game, they had a woman come out, get on the microphone, ask everybody to stand, bow their heads, and pray. And they did like a 3-minute prayer. The whole stadium. She was like doing the prayer. And Amen. The whole stadium. Amen. And it was so interesting because, like, wait, this is the only stadium I've ever seen do that in the NFL. Maybe colleges do it. I don't know. But in the NFL, no.
I've never seen it in college.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first
Not even
I've
at Notre Dame. Not even at a Notre Dame
Yeah.
game we do that. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just that was very interesting. It was just different. I hadn't seen it. So. And there's only 3 stadiums I haven't been to. And that just going back to all the Raider games the last 3 years as well, I hit a lot of the stadiums during that, and then I'm getting the ones that I've never been to this year. But Dallas, Houston, and Minnesota, those are the 3 that I haven't been to, but they're coming soon.
Dallas, Houston, and Minnesota. Oh
yeah,
Minnesota. We'll see you in Houston. We'll be there. Me and Sean are gonna go to Houston.
I'll be in Houston once before that though.
Okay.
Part of the 32 fastest time. That's
okay.
And then the Raider Texans game are after that record is over. It's like the latter
part of it. Okay.
December. That's like late December, right? December 20th.
Yeah, December 20th. I think even MC told me he was gonna go too, because he was trying to convince me. Oh, you don't have to convince me. I'm going already.
MC loves to say he's going to games, and then last minute he's like, I'm not going.
especially when the Lakers have started playing already, he kind of checks out.
Yeah, exactly. Lakers started, and the Raiders are like 4-12. Like he's not going to that game.
He's not going to nothing.
I hope he watches this.
I know, right? Oh man! You already told us about that. Somebody said they've been to KC. The fans are all talk. The only place I think I would be worried about the fans would be Philly because of what you hear.
Yeah, and that's what
But
I want to know. Tell
yeah,
us about Philly. Give us
Yeah.
the scoop, the 411 on those guys.
It's a good. I want to be careful. It's a great question. Like I think a lot of people have mentioned that about the fans there because they're pretty rowdy.
that's
Now
what I
I
heard.
was there the very first game of the season, Thursday night opener between the Eagles and Cowboys, and I had a great time. And the Philly fans were awesome. Like I enjoyed it, you know. And
Okay.
then but I hear people worried about the fans there, and then suddenly I realize, yeah, well, that's because I wasn't wearing a Cowboys jersey. I was wearing
Yeah.
you know.
Uh,
So when we play there and there's a bunch of Raider fans there, yeah, maybe it does get rowdy. Maybe it's, but like I think there's a lot of, how people used to talk about Oakland.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
to go to
Yeah.
Oakland, right? But a lot of,
Mhm.
I would be in Oakland. I would see other fans there, and I know a lot of shenanigans went down, but there are also plenty of times like you just see people interact and they talk shit and whatever, and then they move
And that
on.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they might. I think Philly fans are absolutely passionate and rowdy and over the top, and they probably go too far with some things. But
Right.
I don't think it's like you have to worry about getting into fights all over the place. And I do think a lot of it is what you bring to it. If
Oh,
if
okay.
if someone comes with an attitude and you come back, yeah, that can escalate to a fight. But if
Right.
you just
Right. Right.
don't engage, then it's
Yeah.
I
I've
don't know.
seen that even happen in Vegas, and apparently we're not passionate in Vegas. And you say the wrong thing to one
Yeah,
person, and then it just becomes confrontational at that point. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh man. Yeah.
yeah.
But
I don't think
man,
in these last 4 seasons of doing this, I don't think I've had one confrontation at a stadium, but I just don't. It's again, I think it's partially me because I don't look for that kind of you know
yeah,
interaction.
no, me either. And I used to hang out with people that did, and I noticed the difference when I stopped going to games with them. All of a sudden, we're not getting into fights anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Huh?
It's
What a
like, huh?
coincidence.
I wonder what changed.
That's funny. Well, the
Yeah.
other thing for me is like I'm really, I drink beer, and a lot of times if I'm over the course of my life, if I'm watching Raider games at home or at a bar
Mhm.
or in the stadium, yeah, I'll get drunk, drink a lot of beer, get rowdy. But
Right.
not with this. Not I was stressed the last year since I was going to Raider games and creating the vlogs and documenting it
Yeah.
because I realized like if I had too many beers, I'd just get sloppy, and then I'd have to cut all the footage because I was just hammered and I couldn't use it. It looked
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then this all the focus on everything I have to do in the stadium. Like I can't get drunk. I can't get drunk. I,
Uh,
I will just completely miss all of the check boxes that I have to do.
right. Yeah. Not only
So
that, but even like you said, the content you put out, you don't want to be on there all sloppy, rowdy, things like that. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
Might
even
have a beer
then.
to loosen up,
Oh.
but
Yeah, I mean, like I think I the last time we went, I think I only had like two at the stadium. Yeah. Hmm. But then I had a few drinks because MC, and then we got to the masquerade thing, so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. 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 Qualcomm got crazy, lots of fights.
Yeah,
I think that too depends on who you're with. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could
I
see
think I
that.
saw. Yeah, you're right. San Diego. I think that's where I saw more fights than anywhere else. It was all the LA Raider fans driving down to San Diego, and all the
That's
San
what it
Diego fans
was.
were
Yeah.
territorial. You know, Raiders,
Yeah.
Chargers. There's a bit of Dodgers Padres mixed in there
That
too, and
makes that
it,
goes in it
you
too.
know,
Yeah. I remember that.
yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
more fights in San Diego than I have in LA or Oakland. To be honest, it's kind of weird.
I think I saw more fights in Qualcomm than I ever did in Oakland.
Yeah,
And those were the two I used to go to every year. Was a
yeah.
home opener in Oakland, and then I would definitely go to the Qualcomm game in San Diego. Yeah. Man, but man, Minnesota, I would be looking forward to that because, like you said, I love the traditions, and that when they do that skull chant, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's just I would join in. I don't care.
Yeah. You get caught up in it,
You
when a
do.
team has a thing, you kind of want to like be part of
Yeah.
the party.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also hear that stadium is amazing, and some people love it and say it's their favorite stadium. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm
Um,
also this is where you mentioned this earlier about doing other things in the city, and
uh-huh.
my favorite musical artist of all time is Prince. Like I'm diehard Prince. Like forever, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like Raiders and then Prince, you know, and then it's like Dodgers, Lakers, like it's that kind of
It's
order,
all
right?
that kind. Okay.
But so going to Minnesota, I've been to Minnesota, but I've never done like Prince tours. And I was looking at the schedule and trying to maybe plan it where I could go do some of the things, go visit Paisley Park and this and that. And in the end, I was like, you know what? Stop what you're doing. This is too much. There's too much going on. And I scrapped the whole thing. I'm going to go to the game. And then from Minnesota, I go to Green Bay. And I'm just going to boom, boom. And then I told my wife, I said, look, we need to just plan after this is done next year, plan a separate trip for that.
To go do that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I need like a whole week.
Yeah.
That's what he like.
Exactly.
Go down there, bro. Do everything.
I think that ended up happening with Nathan when you guys went to New England, right? He wanted to do this, do that, go to Fenway, and it was just so much you try to do. And I can just imagine you're even more time restricted, so it's just it'd be even more of a pain.
The first year in 2021, when I went to those last 4 games plus the playoff game in Cincy, I was staying a couple of nights and I was kind of doing things in the city. In Cleveland, I went to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I drove to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, you know, so I was doing those things. But then the last 3 years as I was vlogging and trying to edit this and that, I just realized, like, you know what? If I'm doing it for that, I got to fly there, go to the game and fly back. So like even last year, I would just stay one night, go in, go out, try to get it done, move on to the next, and not make it a touristy thing. It just kind of like a more like job mentality. Like I just here to do a job and then I got to leave. But I get jealous and I have FOMO because there's some of these Raider games when the schedule comes out, a bunch of people are like, okay, this game and this game, these are the ones that we're going to, and they'll show up on Thursday and stay through Monday. You know, yeah.
We're over there. Yeah.
No, I'm that guy.
But I get
That's me.
jealous because I'm like, yeah, I would like to go do all of those things too, but it just, you know, I think after all of this is done with the Guinness stuff, and if I just go back to kind of like a normal football season, there's a point at which I'll probably just pick 1 or 2 games a year to go away to and do it like that. Spend a few days, relax a little, not have it be so hectic, and yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, we plan on doing that with Houston. So me and Sean are debating about either showing up Thursday night or Friday early morning, so we can have Friday, Saturday game, and then just leave Monday.
So I have some friends that live in Houston, and a few of my friends here in California. They all want to do this thing and go to Houston for that game together, and it's going to be a bunch of people. Great. The only problem is they're going to do all that, but I am going to be at a game on Saturday somewhere, and I don't even.
By then they play on Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 weekends at the end of the season where there's a Saturday game, so those weekends will be a little bit harder. But yeah, I'll be somewhere on Saturday and then fly into Houston probably on Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning, and then go straight to the game. So I'm not going to even see those friends. You know, they're going to like be all hanging out and partying together, and I'm going to be like flying in from other cities. So.
Oh man, wait! I'm pretty sure Brian remembers this. I heard Qualcomm would stop selling alcohol at halftime when the Raiders played there. That is 100% true. After halftime, there was no more alcohol. Yeah,
they had to. Yeah.
They even had a commercial because I lived in San Diego at the time, and it was a bail bonds commercial, and it was the jail cells, and it was clacking, and it was like the Raiders are coming. The Raiders are coming. I was like, dude, that was so hilarious. It was his bail bonds. Like, make sure you save this number. Give it to your local Raider. I was like, oh man, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool you're doing this. Like you said, the way last season went, this season, the way it's going, it kind of gives you a different view of being able to enjoy football. You know, even as a Raider fan, but I'm sure you're a football fan as well, being doing this. So that is so awesome to see you doing out there, and you're, man, like bye week or 10 games away, 10 more weeks, right? And then we'll be seeing towards the end to see where you go. But by what week do you anticipate to have broken the record? I know you're going for 56, but it was less than that, right?
Yeah, the current record for, let's say, record A, the most games in a season, is 33 games. There's two two women, two Chargers fan that did it 2 years ago, 33 games. So
Charger fans.
when I get to 34, I will have beaten it. At least in my mind, I know I will have beaten it. But the way it works, though, it's not like Guinness comes out at that point and says, hey, you beat the record. Because what I have to do is all of those requirements that I told you about earlier, I have to collect all of those at the end of the season and submit everything. All of the data, all of the receipts, all of the signatures, the witnesses, the forms, the GPS tracking, I submit all of it. And then Guinness then spends weeks. And I think it actually takes months for them to get around to things because they have so many records that people are trying.
Right.
They just have a backlog. So, but I think you can pay to expedite it, and they'll do it in like 2 weeks. I don't know if I'm going to pay yet. I'll consider it. I've already spent a lot. I don't know if I want to, but then again, I just feel like if I do this and then I have to wait 8 months to find out whether or not I got the record, like that's gonna
suck. Yeah, I would not like that.
No,
you're like a year later. Oh, that's right, I did do that.
Like everybody wants. A lot of people have asked me about the 34th game when I break that record, and then it's actually a game in Houston. It's the Bills Texans, and it's in November sometime. I can't remember the exact date, but it's Bills Texans. That's the 34th game. But there's two things I tell them. First of all, if I miss a game between now and then because a flight's canceled or I get sick or whatever, then that record-breaking game gets pushed back. It'll be the next one. Or if I miss 2 games, it'll be 2 games later, So I don't know exactly when I'll break the record. And the other thing is once I submit the documentation to Guinness, I have no clue what's going to happen. I don't know if they'll look at one game and say, well, you didn't check this box, so that game doesn't count.
Like the Cleveland one. That's the one.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So it's just really tricky to know what's going to happen and when to celebrate. It's part of the reason why I'm going for 56 because
in case some games don't
just
get
in case something happens.
Yeah, and also because these women did it 2 years ago. I don't want to set it and then 2 years later it gets broken. I know at some point somebody's going to break it. I think that's just something you have to assume when you go into trying to break a Guinness World Record. But it'd be nice if it was there for a while, So I'm trying to put it up so high that people are like, I don't want to go to 56.
No, and I could see if look how difficult it is right now. And that's 30 something, 50. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Well, here's an interesting thing. I'll tell you a little story about how this came to be. Like a couple of years ago, the first thing I saw about Guinness was the record B, the fastest time to go to all 32. I saw a post on social media. And I saw the guy that held the record, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I might want to try to do that someday, right? So it's been in the back of my mind for a couple of years, and I kind of attribute it to me finally deciding to do it is partially because of how bad the season was last year. That is certainly a factor, right? Like, okay, maybe now's the time to do it because we're obviously. I thought we were on an upward trend, but then we, got rid of Carr, Adams gone. Everybody that was in that playoff team is gone except Max Crosby. So now we're on this downward trend. I was like, okay, maybe now's the time I do this other thing that I've been thinking about for 2 years. So here's the thing. My intent was to do the record for the fastest time to go to all 32 stadiums. That was my initial goal.
Ah, okay.
I submitted an application for that in January of this year, and there were all kinds of technical problems with Guinness getting that application through. It took months. It was crazy. But while I was going through that process, I stumbled upon the other record for most games in a season, right? And that record is most games in a season, and it's only 33. And I said, hang on a second. I'm going to do 32 if I go for the fastest time to get to all 32 stadiums.
Only one
and that record's only 33, so I only have to go to 2 more to beat both records. And that's where suddenly I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to break both records because even with the fastest time to 32 stadiums, I still had intended to go to Raider games. And my schedule, I was going to go to 39 anyway, right? And I was like, if I'm going to 39, then I definitely need to go for this record because I'm going to beat it,
Yeah.
So after I applied for that, the most games, then the 39 in my head said, well, if I'm going to do 39, I might as well do 56, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
and you know what? That's cool. And shout out to your wife for being
Yeah,
supportive.
that's what
I
that's what I
mean,
was about to
I
say.
get lips sometimes if I go to Vegas without my girl. I get
Yeah.
you're gone for months, weeks at a time. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's got to be
Uh,
hard as
hey,
well.
how
Because it
did
kind of
that
changes
talk go
things.
down, Brian?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. What tactic did you use, and please pass it on to everyone else.
It's pretty simple. Find the right wife.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yes. There you go.
No offense to your wives. I do not mean. Maybe that sounded bad. It didn't. I meant to be a compliment to mine, not an
Yes.
insult to
No,
yours.
you think it did.
No. I think part of it is there's a couple of things here. So one is this has been a 4-year progression. If I was not going to games at all and suddenly I came to her and said, "Babe, I'm going to 56 games." I think that would have been like a, what? You're crazy. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, this is silly. But it really started with that playoff run in 2021 that I mentioned, because I wasn't vlogging or anything. I just went to the games and I went by myself. Or at least the first one in Cleveland I went to by myself, and then she went with me to a couple home games, including that Charger game when it went to overtime to get into the playoffs. It was insane, right? So
Yeah.
she went to a couple there. I went to a couple, and then I went to Cincinnati playoff by myself. At that time, so it was late COVID, right? So everybody had been through a lot.
Yeah.
My wife had gone through breast cancer, survived, but we had gone through that. I had left a job willingly on my own because I was going to spend time with my mother, who was dealing with breast cancer she was not going to beat. And so I left my job so that I could spend time with my mom. And then right as I was about to leave my job, my mom passed. So I suddenly had just lost my mom. I just left a job that I was at for 20 years. And we had a game against the Chiefs where we stood on their logo and they
Oh my
proceeded
God,
to
I
beat us
remember
like
that.
50 to whatever. It was almost as bad as this one Sunday. It was a really bad beatdown.
Yeah.
And that was the year that Gruden got fired and Ruggs had his accident and went to jail, got arrested. We were supposed to be really good. We were supposed to make the playoffs. And after that Chiefs loss, we were suddenly 6-7. And I told my wife, I said, look, I don't know what to do with myself. I had a lot going on in my head and my heart. And I was like, I'm not ready for this Raider season to be over. And by the way, my mom was a diehard Raider fan. So I was like, I'm going to this game in Cleveland. And we won in the last second. So it was like, okay, now we're 7-7. I got to go to the next game. And each game came down to the wire.
The Colts game
that
came
last
out.
Colts
Yeah, I
game,
remember
yeah.
that season.
So
Yeah.
every time we won, I was like, well, I got to go to the next one. I got to go to the next one. And then we finally lost in the playoffs to Cincy, and it came down to the wire again,
Come down the wire. Yeah.
And then it was during the off season. I said, I think I want to document how much Raider Nation represents in those cities. I think I want to vlog it and show people. And so that, that's where it started. It was like, I'm going to go to these Raider games, and it was just going to be one season.
Right.
But then season, 1 became season 2, and season 2 became season 3, and then we were 4-13. It was like, what the hell? So I think by the time I got to this Guinness thing, it was just like another step to it.
Okay.
It wasn't like just going from 0 to 56. I think that helped.
Do you think it refilled up your cup of mojo too, especially with our tough seasons? I mean, like you said, 4-13, we're a terrible team. So now like you're traveling, and I feel like a lot of Raiders fans go like, man, I'm spending all my money just traveling and our team keeps losing. Now you're traveling and gaining experience and doing something else different. Do you think it like refills up your juice for traveling and
Yeah,
like, for the game and stuff?
Absolutely. Last year was grueling. Like the last few weeks of it, there was a point where we lost like, I think
10 in a row.
10, was it 10?
10.
Yeah.
10 in a row.
And it was just like, oh my God, the next game, you start to get numb, especially, you put on all this effort, and I'm also trying to put out videos. Like, who wants to watch the videos of losing, like
That's what it is. Yeah. He's like, what are we gonna do? We need to start doing something funny.
Yeah. But I was stubborn and I just kept doing it. So I think this new challenge, and again, I'm still going to 11 Raider games. That's the crazy thing is.
Yeah, it's still a lot.
It's still a lot, yeah. But it just going to the different stadiums, hitting all 32 stadiums this year. I think what happens is when I go out and go on a trip, like
Saturday night, I flew to Cleveland. From Cleveland, went to Seattle and got back today. When I got back today, I was exhausted. I was beat. But even one night of sleep at home in your own bed, you know, with your family, like if I was traveling again on Thursday, I'd feel like generated again and like ready to go, energized. So yeah,
a good thing this Thursday is here in LA. So
yeah, I think it was good timing. I think I could kind of use the break, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not 90 degrees that day, because you know how SoFi gets.
I think we're past that point now. I think that's mostly September.
Yeah, that is mostly September. Right now we should be good. Yeah. You know, I never asked you this. I don't think I've ever asked you this. When did it go from Brian going to games to all in Autumn Win?
Yeah.
When I met you, you were all in Autumn Win, and that was in Chicago after McDaniels got fired. Yeah.
It started in the 2022 season when we added Devontae. It was after the playoff loss, and that little 5-game run I had included games at Cleveland, Indy, and Cincinnati. And it was seeing, because I've been to games in Oakland. I went to games in the LA Coliseum back in the day. I grew up a LA Raider fan, right? So San Diego, I've seen games there, Vegas, obviously. So, but I realized I hadn't really gone to away games a lot for the Raiders. And it was those 3 games that just made me realize it's not just the California and Nevada fans flying out to these games. There's people that live there. You know, it's like in Cleveland, I was talking to people from West Virginia that were Raider fans. I was like, why are you Raider fans in West Virginia? How does that happen? You know? But it was those interactions that made me in the offseason think, I think I want to document this and like talk with fans all over the country. And so, yeah, that's when it started, was 2022.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I know my boy Chris, Protect the Show. He's from Cleveland. His family are Cleveland Browns fans. But he's a Raider fan. Like, how are you a Raider fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in Ohio. He's a Michigan fan. He just wanted to be opposite. He just wanted to be opposite. But yeah. I noticed that too when me and John started traveling. The first time we went to Vicksburg, and then we seen how many Raider fans were there. We're like, bro, we really are everywhere. New Orleans was the same way. Yeah. So now me and him do one away game each year that we'd like to go to. Yeah.
One thing that I love about the NFL is that at this point, all fan bases travel to some extent. Like last night in Seattle, there were so many Texans fans there. So many.
Oh, wow.
Even in Cleveland with all the rain, there were a ton of Dolphin fans in the stadium. They didn't take over the stadium, but like everywhere you look, like there's some Dolphin fans. I was sitting next to a Dolphin fan. It was like, there's some Dolphin fans, there's stuff. And I think some teams more than others, like, you got your Steelers, Packers, Raiders, Cowboys, certain teams, maybe a little more, but they're all there, Yeah. But it's good. And I think part of it is because of how special each game is. Your team has 17 games. It's not like baseball where you have 162, right?
Right.
Yeah, 17 games. So every single game matters if you want to make the playoffs. So, maybe every game doesn't matter for us this year, but for other teams, every game matters.
Yeah.
So I think people, it just drives people to do it, to make it part of a vacation or a weekend trip, whatever. And that's the problem with Vegas, is all these teams. I remember that first time when the Vikings came and played us, we lost 0-3.
I was there.
But that was maybe one of the craziest turnouts for a fan base.
Yeah.
It didn't look as much on TV. I don't know, because the purple is not as bright as like red.
It doesn't stand out as much as the red. Yeah.
Chiefs Broncos, they stand out a ton in our stadium because of the red and the orange. But if those Viking fans it was insane. And I was talking to people and they said, you know what? This is our first time here. But when you guys, and that was, I think that was 2023. They said, when you guys announced you were moving back in 2018 or 2019, whenever it was that we announced we were moving from Oakland to Vegas, they said, we started planning our trip then.
Yeah.
Because the whole schedule of the NFL, you can predict where you're going each year. They're like, yeah, we were all started planning it. We wanted to go to Vegas. And I think that's the problem. Here's what I think needs to change for that whole stadium problem that we have to get better. Number one, it's going to take a few years of people getting it out of their system. The more
about coming to Vegas.
Yeah, because the first time there's still some teams that haven't gone there, think, or maybe this is the last year that happens. I don't know. I think there's still some teams that haven't played in Vegas. So like when they do that first time, there's going to be a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So that's number one. It's just going to take time. And then number two is we got to friggin' win. You know?
Yeah.
We got to win. Yeah. No, it's definitely a factor. Like not as many. That Charger game to get into the playoffs, it was like 90-10 Raiders. I mean, there were Chargers fans there, of course. LA's so close. But it was we had a ton of people there.
Yeah. That's true.
But if you're gonna go 4-13, it's easier to sell those tickets to, a Jacksonville fan.
Yeah. I mean, even look at the openers. This year we beat the Patriots, so we were all hyped. Yeah. So we all showed up for the first game. The year before that, we had beat Baltimore. And then our first home game was against the Panthers. Oh. So we all showed up for that one, and it was just
It's bad, bro. It's just
I didn't think about what you said though about the cycling of teams that they've never gone to. I don't think the Dolphins have been there yet, or the Bills. Mm-mm. I think the AFC East hasn't came as much over here yet.
I think there's 2 divisions that haven't come yet.
Yeah, there's a couple. No.
We have to look that up because the AFC division. It's every 3 years. You play them there or play them here. So it would be a 6-year cycle for everyone in the AFC to come through. And then for the NFC, it's an 8-year cycle because it's every 4 years you play either there or here.
Or here.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, let me ask you a quick question, man. What does it mean for you to break these Guinness World Records? What does that mean for Brian? Or for All In Autumn Wind?
I think it's just like I don't know. I've always had a need to do things that are big, are special. Like I have a tendency to want to do things that people will remember. I don't know, man. I think it's probably some morbid psychology involved there, of like having something left behind, doing something that, because in like your career, your work, I've had a really good job, senior level job. I've been in an industry for 25 years. And I think within that industry at some point, if I retire, there'll be like a nice little retirement party, but whatever. But outside of that, who cares? Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows what you did.
True.
So I just, I want these things in life that I do, like these boxes to check. And I don't know. It's just kind of it's just kind of a need I have. I there's definitely, I'm going to be honest, there's definitely some attention seeking involved, right? If it wasn't, then I wouldn't be posting on social media or doing vlogs. Right. I would just do the record silently.
And then they would show up afterwards.
Yeah. So I'm okay with admitting that, but and there's been opportunity too. Like, there's been some really cool things. Like I called into the Rich Eisen show, got to be on there.
I saw that. Yeah.
JP the Brick has had me on, and now he wants me to check in like every couple weeks. Oh shit, I gotta check in. I forgot about it. See, there's too many things. I don't even know what day it is.
You got time.
But the Gruden thing too, like that doesn't happen if this. Without this,
I don't think that part happens.
There's no interaction with John Gruden, right? With this, like it's something that's so crazy that when John Gruden hears about it, he's like, "Wait, what are you doing?" Otherwise, I'm just a Raider fan who wants to hang out with John Gruden, which I am. Right? I just have this thing in my back pocket that, like, he's like, "Hang on a second, that's interesting. I want to talk," It's afforded some really cool opportunities. I don't know. I really don't know what happens next. Like, I'm not thinking at all beyond this record because I can't. Like next year, do I go back to vlogging Raider games, or I don't know. I got to think about that.
That's gonna be different. Yeah. Or maybe do the overseas one.
Yeah,
London, the Europe.
Yeah, I'd really like to. I kept each year, the past 4 years, I've been hoping the Raiders would get one, and we haven't had one in a while.
No, not since the famous Bear Khalil Mack revenge game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Raider Travis has a great question. What can Raider Nation do to support Brian through this adventure?
Well, first of all, they're already doing it because I cannot really express how much it helps when I see people, like, there's so many comments on my posts of people just like, you got this, keep going. And people, it can be, it probably feels, I don't know, this is probably me overthinking it, but when somebody says that, I know they mean it, right? But you also, you want to say that. It's like a nice thing to say, like, have a nice day, right? But like, you got this, right? Like,
right.
But people don't realize that sometimes I'm reading that at like 4 a.m. on 2 hours sleep, and I got to get to an airport, and it actually helps. It's like a boost. It's like, yeah, man, there's so many people at this point that have sent messages about how badly, like, we want you to get this record, and this is going to be great. Raider Nation, awesome. Like, people will sometimes comment, the season's bad, but at least we have this positive thing here, right? And you even said that at the start. Like, that sort of thing has really helped because, there's times of, I don't think I've ever thought like, okay, I don't want to do this, I'm going to stop. I have not had that thought, but there's moments of like, this is hard. Like, oh man, I got how many more weeks of this? Like, oh my gosh. But then it's like, man, at this point, I feel like it's not just for me anymore. I feel like there's a wider thing going on here, and everybody's like not everybody, but a lot of people are paying attention and they want it to succeed. So that really, really, really helps,
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, and I know a lot of people. I know when Julio brought it up to me, when like, oh, let's send Brian off. Oh man, that's gonna be so awesome. He's gonna do that. And then during the bye week, I wanted to bring you in to check in, see how things are going. Yeah, are we gonna see you here in LA for the SoFi game, Raiders, or you're not gonna make it this one? No?
I'm not gonna make that one. Yeah, that's part of the 32 fastest time record, and I need to be in another city to get that record. So I'm gonna.
Okay.
But listen, we have not won at SoFi. We never win. I've been to everyone. My prediction is I'm not going to be there, and that's the one we're going to win.
Right, that's the way it goes, right?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I know, right?
Will you be in Denver this year, Brian, for the Thursday night game?
That one I will be, because it's the Thursday night game, so that one will count towards both records. Actually, it's funny. Denver is the team that for the fastest time to go to all 32 stadiums, Denver has 2 primetime games in there. They have one Monday and one Thursday. So one of those games will count towards record B, and one of them won't count towards record B. It's kind of funny how that all works, but they'll both count towards the most games in a season.
Okay.
That's somewhere I gotta go to, so I haven't been. Maybe that'll be my away game next year, Will. Denver.
Right. Man, come up.
There's a lot of Raider fans that live there.
A ton.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's cheaper than Cali, bro. It's cheaper than Cali. That's all I gotta say.
I didn't realize there were so many Raider fans that live in Arizona.
Yeah. Exactly.
A lot that live in Arizona. Yeah. A lot of former Raider players apparently live in Arizona.
Yeah, they had a big retirement community down there. But what place has surprised you the most, Brian, when you go out there and you see Raiders fans? What place were you the most surprised to see a ton of Raiders fans?
Well, I think that's hard. I can't answer that from the point of view of this season because I think I've only been to 2 away games. But over the course of the last few years, it's got to be either Denver or KC, just because the amount of Raider fans in both of those cities is very, very large. But to be in the rival city, it's like, it just seems like, whoa, wow, you got to live in KC while they're on these championship runs. Like, that's crazy. That must be hard. And yeah, it is. But, so I would probably say KC first. That first season I went to KC, I was like blown away. They had a day before party, like a picnic type thing out in a field somewhere. And it was packed with all these people. And I thought, oh gosh, all these people traveled here. And then I was walking around with my mic. They're like, no, we live here. They're like, we used to live in California, but we moved out here 20 years ago. It was a lot of that.
Yeah.
The cheaper thing, or because of job opportunities or whatever. And that was when my mind was first blown of like, wow, That's crazy living in KC.
I'm about to be one of those people that moves to Las Vegas just to follow my team.
Yeah. Is
I mean, I was
really?
gonna
You're gonna move to Las
yeah,
Vegas?
I actually was gonna move when they moved back in 2020. I was gonna move back then, but then stuff happened here at home with my dad, his health, my mom. So I had to stay back and help out more at home. So then I ended up staying. But my friend John, he ended up doing it. We were gonna do it together, but he ended up going. So now he's just waiting for me. Like, hey, bro, when you coming?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Ryan, we have 2 to be determined games at the end of the season, week 16 and 17, right? Against KC at Allegiant. Are you planning on going to that game when it's announced?
Yes. Are those the Saturday flex games?
Yeah, that's the flex ones. Yeah.
Yeah. They're on my schedule, but I just at the moment I have them as TBD, and I haven't purchased any flights yet because I got to see what's what. There's also, I have not decided which Christmas Day game. I think there's 3. It's a Thursday.
Oh, there
and
is
I think
3.
It's either 2 or 3 games. I think it's 3. But I haven't committed to a city, but I recently looked and I think there was 1 dome and 2 outdoors. So I think I'm going with the dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a Thursday this year, so there's definitely 3 games that day. Yeah. Yeah, Christmas Day. Woo. Well, Brian, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for checking in. I'm glad to see that you're enjoying this. I'm sure it's exhausting. I know you're retired, so I want to appreciate you taking your time to get over here. Let them know what you're going to be doing, where they can follow you. Let them know how they can support you, things like that. Make sure you guys go on there, follow All In Autumn Wind's YouTube, his Instagram, his TikTok, all of that stuff.
It's right here, All In Autumn Wind.
Like even now, then, like where can they get the hats, anything like that, merch to help you?
So I sell the hats directly. I made a push when I first put the hats out last year, but during the Guinness run, I haven't really been promoting hats and trying to sell them because it's another thing to try to, when I get home, I'd have to pack and ship a bunch of hats, so I haven't really been pushing it. But I do sell them directly, and it's really just I have a Venmo set up. I just 25 are how much the hats are, but if it's shipped, then I usually do 30 to cover the shipping. So $30 ship, Venmo, and I just ship it to you as soon as I can. I have black, I have white, I have flat bill, and I have curved bill. They're all snapback though; they're not fitted. So I just want to throw that out there. But all social media platforms, All In Autumn Wind on the Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, things like that. I usually post little shorts and reels, either of me in a city or an interaction with a fan in a city. On YouTube, I put out longer 20-minute vlogs of each game that I went to. So if you want to watch the long form, go to YouTube. If you want to watch the short form, you can watch it anywhere. But thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. And I apologize it took a while to get here. I know we've been talking about doing this for a few weeks, right?
Yeah. No, thank you. Appreciate it. And continued success on your journey, on your trips. May Mother Nature be on your side, everything, and have safe travels, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Man. Thanks for inspiring Raider Nation, man, and following your wild dream. I mean, this is crazy. And thanks for taking us on those adventures, man. We can't hear more about them. And at the end, man.
Okay.
I appreciate the support.
All right, thank you. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow All In Autumn Wind. Go to his Instagram, like he said, he does have where you can buy the hats directly from him. Venmo him the money. He'll make sure he gets it to you when he can. All right. Thank you everybody. Peace out, and we will see you later on today.
Go Raiders.
Playing. So now always go Raiders.
Raiders!
Just win, baby.
Look, check it out. All black with a hoodie, snapback, with a snap on. Long white socks, me mugging like I'm King Kong. King Kong with them all black Chuck Taylors. West side and this bitch yelling Raiders. Thuggin', cause we know with it. Motherfuckers like y'all suck, but we don't give a fuck, nigga. We deal with it. Jaw jacking, getting nigga fucked up with the quickness. Parking lot squabbles, giving nigga the business. Shh, quiet. The fuck you mean? We yelling Raiders, bitch. Like fuck your team, you wanna talk your shit. Get sad like Scream Stadium, take off, nigga. Homicide scene. Oakland to LA, LA to Oakland, Las Vegas, Sin City, steady smoking. Raiders looking to get another ring like fuck y'all haters, nigga. Y'all know I mean? We yelling Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. Quit